We've all asked the question, how do you get good at hand lettering? Or how do you achieve the results that you achieve in hand lettering? Well, this question has actually been asked to me quite a lot, and the answer that I give, I don't feel like is anything of good advice, apart from it really is really good advice. To be honest, it is probably the best advice. So if you don't already know, I actually have an Instagram account where I put up all my hand lettering things, like drawing in my moleskin or doing some sort of calligraphy in my book. I put up all these things, and a lot of people ask me, different people every time go, how do you do this? How do you actually have the time to do this? Or have you got any tips to make it better? What do I do differently than them to gain these results? You know, I was asking these questions a few years ago myself, and that was simply because I didn't actually know the answer to the question itself. And I spent all this time trying to work it out by asking people that I was aspiring to. And then during that time, I guess I got to a place where people started asking me. Now you see, the differences between hand lettering and logo design in some aspects is the fact that calligraphy and hand lettering are done because it's a skill. Logo design is also a skill, but learning Illustrator isn't. It's more of a systematic thing. Illustrator isn't a skill in itself, it's more of knowing how to use a program. There's a bunch of rules within Illustrator, just like there is in a hand lettering, but in hand lettering you have to have an element of skill. Now what is skill? The way that I describe skill is something that you work to that can only be gained through experience to show other people something great. You're gonna have an artist who can know everything about every single paintbrush, but all the canvas papers, acid-free papers, and all these different paints, which one's better, and they can understand the color theory, but it takes the skill part to actually create the painting. And that's what I say about my hand lettering and how I do all my illustrations on Instagram and my logo design. And just recently, I've not been getting annoyed, but I've been getting concerned because a lot of people are asking me to do tutorials on hand lettering. And you know, there are tutorials out there. Now, don't get me wrong, there are tutorials out there on hand lettering, but I don't feel like I can do one properly because it's not a step-by-step tutorial. Normally with the tutorials that I do, I teach something that you guys can actually do at the end, so you guys can emulate it and do at the end. But with hand lettering, it's so much different to that. So I guess really the best piece of advice I can give you is hand lettering is a skill and it takes time and practice. I can see people getting annoyed because they're at a point of which they don't know what to do anymore because their hand lettering doesn't look great. Well, let me tell you this, you guys aren't there when I'm on an evening at home with my wife, she's sat on the sofa and I'm sat on the kitchen table with my headphones in, practicing hand lettering. That's it. It takes time and practice. I look at other people's designs, and if I really like something, I'll go ahead and try and do something like that. And from there, my imperfections take place to be something that you guys like. So if you're getting into hand lettering or something different like logo design or something, painting, I don't know, make sure you're practicing. Because you know, it's not always about the tools. I think it's more about the person behind what they're using. You know, I can show you all my brush pens. I can show you everything. But if I showed you that, you'd probably go and buy them. And yeah, some of you might be really good at using them, but some of you might not be. Whereas if I just said I use a pencil and I colour it in with a micron after, you guys will be a bit stumped. And then you realise, oh yeah, it is actually, it is a bit of skill that's needed. So what do I want you to take from this video? Well, you know, I like to do these encouraging videos sometimes because, you know, I can do tutorials, I can make courses, and I can do Creative Bar and all that. But I feel like a lot of people aren't, I don't think they're not truthful. I think they just don't ever show people or get people to understand, or ever feel the need to get people to understand that, you know, really, it takes practice. There's no magic wand that can be just like, you know, tapped onto you and then you get really good. All it takes is perseverance and a bit of practice. And take it from me, if I can do this now, then anyone in the world can. Because, you know, I was never creative at school or anything like that. I started getting creative when I knew I wanted to do this job, and this is where I am at now, is in people understand my creativity. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I will be bringing out new videos sort of like this, and I'm also working on my hand lettering process design, which I guess is a bit ironic seeing as I'm doing this video, but hey ho. I've also got a course on Udemy about Illustrator Basics for Beginners coming out on Udemy at some point in the near future. You know, this course that I'm doing isn't all about advanced skills in Illustrator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's for beginners who want to learn the basics of Illustrator to get a firm foundation. Because once you have the foundation, you can build on that and create your own structure. And that's what the course is all about. So if you guys are a beginner in Illustrator, or feel like you just need a refresher, or just want to know how I did it at the beginning stages, then you guys can go and buy that course. There's an early bird discount link down below. Go and get that. There's an early bird discount link down below in the description, which you can go and click on and get the course. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you click on all the links and all that jazz. See you in a bit.